it's
marketing
gonna
goes on.
Always.
Like marketing will always be a thing for
it might not be exactly what it was, but it will still move forward. It will always keep going.
Welcome back to another episode of the Monarch Social podcast, where we discuss all things digital media marketing.
Why do we do it? In hopes to give you, the viewers at home, some valuable insight into this digital marketing world.
That's right. Digital marketing can be a tricky one.
It can be.
It is a tricky one.
It's a new wave of marketing that's ever changing.
It's ever changing. That's what makes it the most tricky.
It's the best one though.
It is. I love it. That's why we do it.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely, hands down. That's the main reason why we do what we do. You know.
Hi, Koa.
Hello, Morgan. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, guys. We're gonna jump into that in a second. But how was your week? It's Friday.
Week has been good, dude. Honestly, we had a good week at work. I also had a little family reunion in Mesquite, which was super cool to see. My whole side of the family I haven't seen in a long time, so it was really good.
That's nice.
How have you been?
Dude, I'm killing it. It's we're busy as ever. I know we say that all the time, but it's the truth. Like, it's hard to keep up right now with everything. I think we had the holidays, and usually what happens is there's a big push for marketing during the holidays, and then it kind of goes it slows down, and then into spring, companies are like, oh, we got to market. We got to like get back in there. And so, man, we've been doing a ton of websites, big projects lately.
I think the biggest challenge that we are facing right now is scaling properly.
Yeah. In my first company, I had a retail. It was retail. We had multiple locations, and we scaled horribly at first. I remember going from like 1 store to 3 stores to 5 stores, down to 3 stores, up to 7 stores, back down to 5. Like, we scaled really wrong. And so this time, taking some of that knowledge that I had in there and trying to like, because it's 2 sides of the pen. It's like, you want to take on projects and get bigger, and that means you need more work. But then you bring people on. But
you also don't want to overwork where all of a sudden you start slipping up and things start falling through the cracks. That's like the big balance. It's like
scaling a business is tough.
It is.
It's tricky. There's a science to it. There's an art, if you will. There's an art to scaling right. And honestly, we're right in the middle of that. We're right in the middle of really trying to scale correctly so we don't have things fall through the cracks for our current clients, but also we want to grow, but grow at a steady pace. We don't want to overextend.
Overextend to the point where all of a sudden, again, I feel like when you overextend, that's when the opportunity for you to have things slip up, have things fall off, that's when that occurs. Well, you're not ready for it, you know? You don't have the infrastructure to support all of the new stuff that's coming on.
Yeah, I think it's really important to, whoever's listening and going through the same things right now is have processes down, have like really detailed processes.
A game plan too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A whole game plan.
But to you saying processes, it's like when you are bringing new people on, you want to make sure that it's kind of like, okay, you're a new person. You join this new company. This is your role. This is your responsibilities. This is what we expect. Those need to be laid out before you start doing that thing. And that's something we're learning. That's something we are all definitely learning.
Because this is different than retail for sure.
Yeah.
And so we all are learning it. But it's a really exciting time to be a part of Monarch right now. Like, Monarch is doing awesome. And I was just telling you before we started, like I'm obsessed with Monarch. It's like...
It's the best.
It's like I breathe, eat, live, sleep Monarch.
And I feel like it fits so well into an enjoyable lifestyle. What we do, you know what I mean? It's like you have the awesome freedoms, you're doing cool stuff. It's never super repetitive what you're doing either. You're working with so many different clients where it's all of a sudden, I'm an expert in escape rooms, I'm an expert in cupcakes, I'm an expert in
uniform manufacturing,
so many different things where it's new. Everything's new, and it's exciting, and it's cool to test different things out because certain things work with certain industries, certain things work better with others. And it's just exciting.
And we're super flexible too. Like we're able to work on the road. Like, you're able to work from anywhere. Like like when you're on your family reunion or vacations, or if you decide to go on a trip, it's very easy in this industry to like work from the road. I love that
for sure. And it just keeps that morale up. Keeps me happy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
So, Koa, this episode, I kind of want to give a recap of a few things. The last kind of one that you were with me was right before our event. Mm-hmm. Then we had our event. Then we had Tobes on, and we talked about SEO. And so let's just kind of give a recap of, how the event went. How did you like the event? How'd it go? And then kind of everything that's happening in Monarch and what the future holds. And maybe I have some questions for you in the middle of there too that I prepared that you don't even know about.
Oh, I love that.
So let's talk about our event. We had our event. Mm-hmm. Tell us how it went.
It was like, how long ago was it now? Like 2 weeks?
It was 2 or 3 weeks ago now.
It was good. I'll be honest, I haven't done an event like that. I know we've done like classes here and there where we've kind of gone in and done like a, educational session for groups. But to actually throw our first event was totally different. And it was exciting. I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit nervous, where it's like, oh, this is Monarch, this is us. But I will say this, dude, you killed it with the preparation.
Oh,
I was so slammed with stuff that we were doing with all of our clients and everything going on that I didn't get to put the due diligence into it that I would like to have done.
Yeah, I remember we had so much going on that I literally just took the reins and I kind of planned the whole damn thing.
You did, dude. And it was so sick to see it all come to life because I had heard bits and pieces, but again, we were so busy I didn't get to dive into it. I just trusted you to do everything.
Yeah.
And you slayed it. Our swag bags, all of the stuff that we got.
Yeah, we taught this event and we went over a lot of things. We went over kind of the marketing trends for 2021 and debunking some of the myths. But on top of that, we had a great turnout. We had a lot of people there. We had food. We had swag bags.
Food, swag bags, the whole setup. Yeah.
Lights, music. It was super fun. And it's definitely not our last event. We want to put on events like quarterly.
I was going to say, if anything, it motivated me to want to do another one.
Yeah, and this one we posted about it, but we didn't market.
No, we didn't.
You know what I mean?
We didn't market. Like I said, we didn't really put that due diligence into it that we should have. Well, but it was our first one.
That's why I wanted to get one underneath our belt, figure out how it goes, what it felt like, and then we just make changes and additions here and there.
Yeah, because it's one of those things, and it's like everybody hears this, especially if you're an entrepreneur, trying to do your own business. Is you have to start somewhere. Yeah, just like our podcast, we had to start somewhere.
Yeah, your first one's always going to suck.
It's almost guaranteed that your first one's going to be your worst one.
You want to write a book, your first book's going to suck. You want to paint a picture, your first art piece is going to suck. You want to throw on an event, the first one's going to suck. Ours wasn't that bad, but it was.
But guess what? When we get a couple of these other ones under our belt, we're going to be like, damn, that one sucked.
It's only up from there, brother.
It is, and it was great. I loved it. I thought we had a good turnout. I also thought that we had some good insight because again, this new year, 2021, has a lot of different obstacles that marketers are gonna have to, figure out and figure their way through. And I feel like we gave some really good insight. It was good. It was really good.
And then right after that, so our event went great. And then right after that, that was on a Thursday. That following Monday, we hired a new web developer.
We did.
We brought on full-time or part-time. We brought on part-time, a web developer. And since then, we got another office. We talked about this space.
We haven't even addressed this.
We haven't addressed this. This is our new office. And so we kind of outgrew our other side. During the week, it was just all our desks in there.
Yeah, if you go in there, it looks like command center. You just got screens. Seriously, setups.
Just setups.
With it's plug and play. All of our teammates come in and they plug their laptops in and they have multiple screens and it's just like this nice ambiance. It's super cool.
And then every Friday we have to move everything.
Transform. We have to literally get rid of that. So on Fridays for you guys, I don't think we ever talked about this, but we actually have a couple of kids that work from home on Fridays because we do our podcast. Yep. Because it's like, look, we have 5-6 people in that room at one time. There's no way we could do our podcast in that room and have them work. We hear click, clack, click, clack, click, clack all throughout the whole podcast. So, let alone take away a desk. We literally have to take away a whole 2 desks.
So with the new size of our team, with people coming in and the growth of our podcast, we got a new office. Yes. And so this is actually an office, but this side of it will stay this way. So we never have to set it up. Yep. And, we got this couch and the sign, and this is our first one. We're not even done setting it up how we want. It looks a little empty right now.
It does. But just like we're saying,
We
you
just go
have to
forward.
start somewhere.
We just go forward, bro.
and then you fine tune. And this is a good step. The biggest challenge we had with our old spot was we would have to literally move our couch,
get a table.
move the desks out, move the couch, set all the lights up. And it was just a whole fiasco.
Set up the microphones.
Half of our whiteboards that have all of our goals and stuff on it. Like,
Yeah, we had
it
to
was a
cover
big
the
thing.
white. We had to hang stuff over the door so you couldn't see like the random door. But this new spot is awesome, and in this spot is the sales office now.
Doubles.
And so double. So the other half of this is the sales office, and so now we have our sales guys in here. We have our fulfillment in our other office, and then we have our podcast. We have a permanent podcast.
Now we have a
set
permanent.
up.
And like I said, this is going to be the one where we really grow into it, where
Yes.
it's like we start fine tuning everything, the lights, the positions, some decor. Because I totally agree, it does feel a little bit empty up in here.
it's we just need something. And so, anyways, if you guys have ideas, let us know what we should put on the sides. But
Yeah, actually, I would love to ask this: would we rather have plants or would we like lamps?
or something more modern,
Because I'm on the lamp side.
lamps and plants.
Maybe
and,
a plant though. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. But it'll be exciting because, like you said, we're gonna grow into this space, and this will be the podcast room, the podcast office, and I'm stoked for that. So
I'm super stoked for it.
So
as
we've been
well.
dealing with that, hiring, getting this office.
That's why we were talking about the whole scaling thing, because I feel like that's, at least for me, that's been my big top of mind thing, is figuring out how the best way to scale.
Exactly. And then, like I said, on top of that, our sales right now are just crazy.
Going
from
through the
everything
roof.
from websites to videos to just everything. Just everything's
Literally.
going on.
Even these one-offs, like there's just so many things. It's cool.
So we
It's
couldn't even
great.
podcast last week.
Yeah.
Like, just to be real with you guys, me and Co are busy guys. We don't just podcast. We got real jobs. Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff to do right after this.
And we just have lots of stuff going on. So there, last week we just said, hey, we just honestly don't have time with everything going on. So we apologize. We try to stay as consistent as we can,
Yes.
but things happen.
But hey, guess what? With us having this and it being one of those things where we can just come in here and not
Sit
have
down,
to
ready
change
to go.
everything up,
Yeah.
just ready to go. I feel like we could knock these out a lot
awesome.
quicker.
And so that kind of brings you guys up to speed of, hey, this is our new podcast room, and you guys are going to see that grow. Tons of growth in Monarch right now. Monarch is doing awesome, and our event was awesome, and we're going to keep doing events, and
Yes.
that's exciting.
I'm stoked for that. Like I said, I want us to just ever evolve. Everything gets better with time.
All right, so I have some questions for you, Koa. These are the questions that I was going to ask.
me.
In 2021,
Yes.
what's the biggest thing you've learned in two things, in business and in marketing?
Okay. So in business, I would say as a leader,
Because you've had
it would
huge-
revolve around being a leader, and really, again, I'm going to keep saying scaling, but leadership goes a lot with scaling, and it's learning how to get employees and people that you work with, teammates that have different personalities, different things about them, and get them all to mesh together.
Yeah, how do you
And
paint
work.
that vision?
Yes, and work together, because I love that you said vision, because that's the biggest keyword for me. Is it doesn't matter what everybody believes in, what everybody how their personalities are. It's getting everybody to have that same vision, so that you guys can all achieve a single goal.
Yeah, Makoa, for those listening and watching, Makoa is basically over all of our fulfillment side. I'm over all of our sales and
Yes.
customer service, if you will, but mostly sales and business ops, business dev. Koa is literally over the whole fulfillment team. And so you work with web developers, content creators, video guys. You work
All
with
of it.
a whole bunch of slew of people. So
And then every single, and
let's
it feels
just-
like each department has their own vibe.
well, that's the thing. You take a web developer and then you take a creative video guy.
They are a lot of times not alike.
That's night and day difference.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Developers, typically speaking, they want to be in a dark room cave, headphones on, just coding or making websites. Then you get a creative guy that wants music on and lights
loud,
and loud.
sunshine, different stuff. Yes, and so the thing is, it's learning how to take all of that, taking the best of everybody and building it together, and make sure everybody has the same vision. I think that's the biggest thing, is making sure everybody has the same vision, because that's how you're gonna get that vision accomplished and reach that goal.
And then what about
Marketing?
Marketing. So what have you learned in marketing this year that you'd say? What's something that you've learned or something that
Okay, so for marketing, I would say one big thing is that marketing will always continue. and it's kind of directly at this whole Facebook thing. And again, because this year is so short into it, right? We're only a few months. We're like the 4th month, right? April. And going into 2021, the whole rainy cloud over marketing was this Facebook thing that was going on.
Yeah, Facebook had some major changes. We addressed a lot of those
in our event. Our event, we talked directly to it. And so the biggest thing I've learned with that whole thing is that, guess what? Facebook's still going to keep going. It's
marketing goes on.
Always.
Like, marketing will always be a thing for businesses.
It might not be exactly what it was, but it will still move forward. It will always keep going.
I completely agree. And I had to learn a lot this year in marketing too.
I was about to say, what are yours? What's your number one thing you learned about marketing?
We've talked, for marketing, I think it was how we said marketing, digital marketing is ever changing. It's an ever changing thing. And it could be from algorithms to budgets to whatever it is. I think one of the big things that we've learned as a company, and I'm going to say company-wide, is when we take on larger clients, like, okay, when you start a business, when you start a digital marketing business, I don't know a lot of people that just all of a sudden go market for multi-million-dollar companies. Like, that's their first client. So when we started, obviously we're working with local businesses that are mom and pop shops. And, over the last 2 years, we have scaled that from working with the one-off solopreneur to the companies that are nationwide companies. And now we have clients that are huge clients, that are very large clients. And so what we've had to learn with those guys is budget is definitely a thing when we're marketing pay-per-click stuff. I think our team had to really understand budgeting a little better with bigger clients.
Yeah.
And the other thing is how do you communicate with a larger client and the type of communication style that they like versus the mom and pop,
right?
And that's something that we've had to grow into in Monarch,
right?
Is okay, because with a mom and pop shop, it's very different how you interact with them. It just is. And then with a larger client, like there's just more that goes into it.
Oh, for sure. The way that you not only communicate, but the way that the whole processes go.
The whole process
because
is
a bigger account, and this is like a kind of like a pro tip, I guess, is if you're working with a bigger account, they expect to have certain processes. And in fact, a lot of people, and we've heard stories about this, where you have a big company that's prospecting out an agency, but that agency is really just one guy that does everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, he undervalues himself. And big companies see that. If you come in and you lowball, it's almost like a disrespectful thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, no, you don't get it. Like, we want something that's and like...
That's happened to us.
Exactly.
That happened. I think we've talked about this on the podcast, but that happened with a website where we went and quoted a website, and it wasn't a cheap website that we quoted. It was, it
was still really pricey.
It was a pricey website, but he literally looked at us and said, no, you're missing a couple zeros. You don't get it.
Yeah.
And we lost it. We lost that sell.
And that one hurts the worst
because we put a lot of work into it.
And not only that, but just thinking like, oh man, if we would have just charged more. It's like, it's one of those, it's a value thing. You have to value what you work. And when you go to a big company and they expect high quality value, they typically have a higher price tag with it.
Yeah. And I think like the other thing that I'm learning or where I'm growing is I'm very well connected in the Utah networking scene. Like I'm a networker. People know me as the business guy. Like, I love business. And since I've worked with smaller businesses, I've worked with these smaller, solopreneurs. But now our company is reaching a point where we charge too much for those people.
Yes.
It's just that, like, we're not in their budget anymore. And so it's a very fine line of trying to find, a middle ground for my Utah networking peeps.
Yes.
Like, that's something that I've had to like.
And we kind of discussed this today.
Yeah.
And it's about scaling.
It's about scaling.
Because guess what? That's a problem. Is sometimes you scale and you outgrow those people.
Yeah. And that's what's happening right now is, a lot of our clients have come from word of mouth and networking events and networking in general that I've done. And it's kind of cool because the larger clients that we're bringing on have heard about us or Googled us or whatever it is, that larger clients. And now we're so busy with larger clients that when I get a smaller client in, it's like, yeah, I want to help them, but we're not in that price range anymore because we're in demand. Our skills have just gone up. Obviously, our team skills are awesome. And so I've had to learn that in the business sense of I don't know. I'm walking the tightrope of how do I still provide value to smaller companies, but that's not devalue
what
us.
we do.
And
exactly.
Because we still have to make money, like at the end of the day, we do run a business. I don't run a charity. Yep. And so that was
that's where I think, like I said, scaling. It's like I still would love to say yes to a lot of these people just because they are like, they're genuine, they're literal companies that can be successful.
Yes.
And they just need some help. And it's like, it's hard to say no to those, especially because we were kind of like forged from those companies.
We started there. We were a startup. And we were one of those companies. And now that we're getting larger,
it's like, how can we scale so we can still say yes to these people without take away from everything else that we're doing?
Because it's like my little heartstrings, as an entrepreneur, it's like I see these people that need help and it's like, oh, I want to help them. But, our prices are going up. So that's something that I'm learning and working through right now. But that's been a thing for 2021 as we continue to grow.
That's way good. And like I said, I would love for us to be able to help everybody out that we can. But being business mindset, it's like how it just doesn't make sense for me to work with this when we have this on the plate.
Yeah, it's hard when someone wants to pay like $500 to $1,000 for a website.
Yeah,
and we have projects close to
10 times more than that.
Yeah, like 10 grand websites. That's a very different feeling.
Yes,
it's like okay. Anyways, good questions.
Yeah, dude.
So what do you? Another question for you.
So,
what's the future of Monarch for you? Like, where are we going? What are we doing? How do you envision Monarch play out?
So on the fulfillment side, it's a good question because it's always about what services do we want to offer. And for a while, it's weird because I was like super narrow-minded about it for a long time. And with everything that going into 2021 and realizing like, oh, and again, I know I said that it didn't change as much as I thought, but at the same time, there was that fear that like, oh snap, this could be gone. Like this whole service that we offer could be just completely gone. So with all that happening, it kind of opened my mind to all these other avenues that are options for us to use as services. And so I feel like I would like to go into maybe one or two more. SEO was the big one that I wanted to get into going into this year.
Yeah.
And we did that. Mm-hmm. The only other one would be kind of like, it's doubled. It's like either email marketing or adding another PPC channel.
Yeah, I think I think I'm right on par with you. The two services that I would potentially love to bring on is email marketing. The majority of the clients that we bring on ask about that.
Exactly.
And we don't offer that. And I don't even know anyone that's a really good email marketer. So, hey, if you're listening and you're an email marketer and you're really good at it, and we could probably hook you up with a lot of people and work out a deal.
Yes.
The other one is LinkedIn marketing.
That was literally the other channel I was thinking about for doing.
Yeah, I think LinkedIn is a really good channel to use. It's really expensive to use.
But it's so niched. It's like such a niche channel where if you have that account that fits into that niche, then that's perfect for them.
So those are the two that I was thinking. But I think where I see Monarch going is a couple more services. We grow our team. And then we keep pushing the envelope of what's new, and we stay on the forefront. When I think of, and I'm not trying to bash on other digital marketing companies in Utah, but when I look at digital marketing companies in Utah specifically, it's almost like they're old school digital marketing companies.
Right.
And when I think about Monarch, I think of like hip, fun, and super knowledgeable of like what's new, what's working. And when I look at these other companies, I see just the old stuff that was working and nothing really new. And so I want Monarch to continue to be on the forefront of like, oh, those are like the fun, awesome, knowledgeable, real dudes that like know what the hell they're doing.
Yes, I love that aspect of us. I feel like we are super real. We've heard even just recently some horror stories of how other agencies will hold assets hostage, literally hold any little aspect of what they're doing with that client hostage. And that just is baffling to me because how can you build a relationship with a company when you guys have that that headbutt where it's like, oh, you can't do this, or we're not going to do this for you unless you pay us more money. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, let's set the standard. Let's disrupt that whole entire way of doing agencies where it feels like you hired somebody to do this job and that's all they do.
Yeah.
Instead, let's be friends. Let's actually like grow together.
And that's one of the things I think that sets us apart is when a company hires us, they're not just hiring like an outsourced marketing team. I think we do a really, really good job of becoming a part of their team. Yeah. We become a part of their ecosystem. We become a part of like their company, and they actually have like a marketing team that's working with them. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the things that sets us apart with that relationship too, of just like, oh, like that's part of our team. Like, yeah, and that's what works. And so I
think some of the things that we do, there's some little things that we do that makes us feel a little bit more personable. And I feel like one of them is we allow people to text us. Oh, like if they have questions or anything, rather than going through email, because we all know it. How often do you check your email a day? Maybe 3 times. I mean, I honestly, with doing what we do, I check it a lot more than that.
I check mine a lot more. Yeah, just because I'm in sales.
At the same time, if somebody wants to directly get an answer quick, they text. If it's one of those things that's not super urgent, then they'll send an email, because obviously we respond to both. But I've had multiple times, even just this week, where I've had some of our accounts hit me up because they have like a question that needs to be answered right then and there. Yep. And of course, it's easy for us to just boom, 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 boom.
We're very, very responsive. Yes. We're very, very responsive. And to have that feeling of, oh, I can just reach out and ask a specialist like right then and there, you know.
It's a huge value point for us.
A huge value point.
And it's a huge value point for our clients.
And once again, when we go back to vision, we're talking about vision with the team. We're not your typical 9-to-5 corporate company. No. And it's, you know, we're not asking our guys to do anything crazy or wild. We're bringing them into the vision of like who Monarch is and what it means to be an awesome marketer and what those relationships mean. And then people are on board with that, you know, and I love, dude, even with our team, we have such good synergy with our team. Mm-hmm. Shout out to the whole Monarch team, like each and every one of them.
MVPs of the whole thing. I'm not even kidding.
But I love coming to work, and it's not work. It's like we're having a party, you know, and we'll get pizza and drinks, and we'll hang out and talk. And
yeah, and like I said, I truly believe that allowing people to have freedom builds a better camaraderie with not only the team, but with you and that employee.
Yeah, I think when we came into this, Makoa, our whole mindset was we didn't want to be micromanagers that were like just down your throat, like pressing productivity. Like we wanted to create an environment for our team members that was like enjoyable, because we knew when we were happy, we performed better. Like we just really did. Like we wanted to perform better. We weren't just like counting the clock. We weren't just like counting down the time till I went home. And so, you know, if you come to our office, we have like love sacks, we have PS4, we have TVs, we have couches, obviously. And
first thing I do every time I come to the office, hey Google, play Star Wars.
Yeah, well, it might play right now.
Yeah, true.
No, but we've created that. And so, but I get off a little topic, but having that atmosphere makes it really easy to transpose that to the clients that we bring on with communication and just the whole vibe of Monarch is awesome. Right. So,
and I think a big part of that is we're not like too lax, but there's a different way of being motivated.
Exactly.
Different way to motivate people instead of motivating people out of fear.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, let's motivate you by giving you these freedoms. But again, if the biggest thing we will watch for is something starts slipping. And we have some really cool tools that we use to kind of track where people are at and see if people are stuck. Yeah. So we can talk to them and, you know, figure out how to get out of that situation.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, like, the two huge things that have worked really well for us at Monarch, and this is for business owners listening, or if you have more than one employee, or if you're working on whatever it is, a project with multiple people, are two huge things. The first one is a communication tool. We use Discord.
Yes.
Discord is awesome. It's for gamers, but we love it.
It's so cool. I'm not going to lie. I had no idea what Discord was until 2 years ago. Yeah. When all of a sudden I come over and start working with you and I'm like, what is this thing you're always on? And it's Discord.
Yeah. So Discord, you have like a server where there's a text channels and voice channels, and you can all jump in there and you can have a ton of people in there and share your screen. Mm-hmm. And then you can make subcategories of different like chat rooms, if you will.
Like we have one for web dev, we have one for content, sales.
Yeah, we
even have one for memes.
We have a memes page. And we love sharing memes here. Yeah. But that helps a lot with the communication, so everyone can feel like they're on the same page and what's going on, or if I need to, you know, put something in general and go to everyone. But that's awesome. You can assign roles in there too. Mm-hmm. And then the other big one that we use, speaking of slipping, is a team management software, and we use Monday. So here at Monarch, we use Monday, and you can put all the tasks in there that need to get done. And
even more so, you go by group. So what we have is all of our accounts, all of our clients, and then in all of those clients, you have all the tasks, all the little things that are.
And in those tasks, you have sub items.
Oh yeah, you can fine tune it. You can even do sub items of sub items. So it's like.
And
everything.
And you assign a person there. You can assign a due date. You can assign so much. You can put a status on there. I'm working on it, or I'm stuck, or it's done.
You can put notes. You can put attachments, stuff to help people get that task done. It's cool. It's honestly, that's probably the biggest. Well, I mean, Discord's both of them. You have to have both of them.
And you pay. How much do we pay for Monday?
I can't remember.
Do you pay per seat? I think we pay like $50.
It might be, but it might be per seat, because I think our bill went up once we added these other.
Well,
people.
we added the there's different features that you can do, and so we added features too. So I think we pay like $50 a month for it. But honestly, it's totally worth it, because
so worth it when you have multiple people. Being able to work remotely.
Yes.
Like, it's super nice. And being able to track, like we were just saying, is being able to see where everybody's at, see if people slip up. And instead of coming at them in a mean way, it's like, look, I see you're stuck on this. Let's have a conversation and see what we can do, what you need to get this task done.
Yeah, and I love it. And, you know, when I'm not in the office, you know, Makoa is over fulfillment, like I said. And so he lives in Monday, you know, making sure everyone's getting things done and projects are moving forward. But if I'm not in the office, it's so nice to be able to just jump in Monday and take a quick look to see where we're at on things. You know, if I know I have a client phone call coming up and I want to know where we're at on their project, there's been many times I've just jumped into Monday because you're busy, or I can't, or I just don't call you. And I look in Monday and I see exactly what's getting worked on. Yeah. And then, you know, so anyways, those two things, a communication tool, and you guys could use like Slack or Discord. Discord's completely free. And then a team management thing where you can assign tasks and jobs and duties and due dates and calendars and stuff like that. Use that, and we use Monday. So those are two great things that we use. Those have helped us grow. Probably more than like anything to like stay on top of everything, because, you know,
I was gonna say, as you grow, things will get more chaotic.
Well, I know a lot of business owners that have, you know, help, or, you know, they have like a part-time employee or one or two full-time employees. And business owners, we have this stupid thing where we think everything is just, we know everything, so it's all up in our head. Mm-hmm. But to actually put that out on a system on paper is so much more beneficial.
Yes, absolutely. I do this thing where I get scatterbrained because I know that we have so many moving parts, so many things going on. But as soon as I get all those things out of my head and put them into Monday, I realize, okay, this is manageable. Now I see all of the tasks.
And you can see the due dates too.
Yes, and I can then schedule time to actually do those tasks.
Yeah, and I love that. So.
I just wanted to quickly highlight on this. With us being so remotely, having two separate softwares, because there's a ton of ways that you can have a communication, text messages. You can make a group chat with all of the people. And I've been in situations where we do that, not here, but at other companies.
You're just on a big text thread.
On a huge text thread. And it's the same idea of like, people say they can work from home, but when they leave their home and they go to a different location, an actual office,
they're more
productive.
Yep.
They're more productive, and it feels like they're there to work. When you have something like Discord, it's nice because it's like, hey, if I'm in my Discord, if I'm in this server, I know that I'm here to work.
Yeah, and when you're in there too, like I said, there's a voice channel. Mm-hmm. And so if when some of our people work from home, even though they're working at home, they're in the voice channel, and we're all in the voice channel, so it feels like they're here.
It's literally the same idea of like, I am at home, but I can just speak, and I can talk to whoever I need to talk to.
Yeah, I love that aspect of it.
So it's super cool.
So those are two things that we use that have helped us grow. I know this episode has been a lot about us, but I just wanted to kind of be real, have a good, real episode, where we're at, what's happening.
Plus, I feel like these are a lot of valuable, like this is a valuable
Yeah,
episode because of the things that we do. It gives you an idea of not only how you should expect a company to work, but also if you are out there trying to do this in whatever field, having those pieces is important.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think it would be, it's awesome for you guys to kind of keep watching us grow, because guess what? We're going to the moon. You might as well call us Doge.
Ooh, Doge. Yeah, don't get me started on that right now.
Anyways, that's what we have for you guys today. I'm actually working on getting some more guests on the podcast as we speak. And so nothing in stone right now, but we might have a guest for next week, Mr. Koa.
Sick.
And I'll tell you more about that. But tell the viewers and listeners at home where they can find us.
Yes. As always, you can catch this video on YouTube. You can catch the stream, or I guess I should say the audio stream, on all major podcasts, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
iHeartRadio. We're on everything.
Oh, yeah. And I guess it is on all the ones. I always say
Stitcher.
the major ones. Yeah.
We're on everything.
But the big ones. Side note, cool feature. If you Google us, did you know that our podcasts come up in Google?
Tobes and that SEO, man.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Tobes and SEO.
You can instantly watch it. It's sick. Try it. Google Monarch Social. You'll see our podcast pop up in your search. But then again, follow us on our socials at Monarch Social Brand. We're on all the major ones.
Yeah. Till next time, guys. Thanks for listening.